What made you come to Australia?
I packed up my suitcases, I jumped on the plane and I landed in Melbourne. We did a partner visa together and I changed my life completely.
Partner visa?
Yes.
Wow.
It put a lot of pressure on us as a relationship. I had to show pictures, write stories. For me, it was a real invasion on my private life. Well, the love, went away after a while. We did break up and got a divorce.
So should I say that you changed your whole life? What made you stay in Australia apart from the love? Hi everyone, I'm Reena Augustine from Community Impact. Welcome to Indoz Television. Today my guest is Aurelie Dubost, who is the migration consultant here at Just Australia. Hi Aurelie.
Hi Reena. Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Aurelie, the most important question is, I have been to France. I've been living there for 2 years now. It's the most beautiful country in the world. What made you come to Australia?
You're right, Reena. France is beautiful. We are very lucky over there. I was very young at the time. The first time I wanted to travel to Australia, I was just 21. So I wanted to go on an adventure. I wanted to explore the world and I wanted to get as far as possible from, my family who wanted specific things for me. I wanted freedom to explore for myself, what I wanted to do with my life.
Yep.
And I was very lucky to study at a university in Lyon. And my university had an exchange program with several places in Australia. And I got selected to go to Brisbane at UQ. So I went on a student visa when I was 21. And, the rest is history, pretty much.
Wow. So an exchange program.
Yes.
So I'm going to talk about this age 21.
Yes.
So I come from a culture at the age of 21, majority of the women are allowed getting married, okay?
Yes.
10 years ago, 20 years ago. So I want to understand, for us, it's like, right, you finish your bachelor's degree, all right, let's find you a guy, get you married. How is the culture in France?
I think this is probably something we also had in France, maybe up to my parents' generation. Women would get married much younger, but it's not the case anymore. Certainly, it wasn't the case for me. I wanted to travel, be on my own, have some experiences. And when I came here, I actually fell in love with an Australian. So, there is a little bit of that romantic aspect to my story. We got married a bit later. But, I wasn't ready just to settle down and start a family straight away. I wanted to do things for myself, explore options for my career and feel independent,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a whole new thing you told me now. So you came to Australia, you studied in Brisbane,
Yes.
Queensland. That's
Yes.
where I'm from.
Beautiful city.
I know, right? And how long were you in Brisbane?
I spent 1 year in Brisbane studying. Then I went back to France and decided, no, I want to spend more time in Australia. So I had the opportunity to do a working holiday visa. Very easy visa for us French passport holders. So I spent another year in Brisbane and then I moved back to France and my partner at the time moved to France with me. We spent some time in France together.
Okay.
And we got married in France when I was 27. And from that moment, we decided to move back to Melbourne together. Just because in terms of job opportunities, it was a bit easier for us. And he didn't speak a lot of French. So we thought, I speak English. Let's move to a country that's easier for all of us. So I arrived in Melbourne in 2012. And, it wasn't easy at first because I came from working as a teacher in France. I had a good salary, a good life, my own apartment, to moving here. And it was difficult at first to find the job that I wanted. I worked as a dishwasher in a restaurant for a couple of months until I got an opportunity, to find a position in a good school. And
yeah, this is what I like about Australia. You can go try any job.
Exactly.
There's no hierarchy. Okay, you're a dishwasher, you're a cleaner.
Yes.
Everybody
Here I was with my master's degree, cleaning dishes in a cafe.
Crazy.
But it was good because I met another French girl there and we've become best friends and we're still friends today. So I have created connections through that and it was an experience,
I love that. So Aurelie, let's talk about this visa thingy.
Yes.
So now you mentioned that your partner moved to Australia.
Yes.
First, you went to France.
Yes.
How long were you there?
We were in France for about 3 years.
So he was there.
We were doing
3
a bit
years.
of back and forth. He spent a full year in France, but it didn't go well for him. He was completely lost in my country. It was hard for him to make friends. It was really not a good experience. And that's why prompted us to move to Australia together. So it was really a decision we took together.
Language barrier is a huge thing
it was
in
a
France.
huge thing
I do
for
understand.
him. Yes.
Yeah. So you moved back. So should I say that you changed your whole life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I packed up my suitcases, I jumped on the plane and I landed in Melbourne. We did a partner visa together and I changed my life completely.
Partner visa?
Yes.
Wow. What do you think of it?
It was difficult. It put a lot of pressure on us as a relationship because you have to demonstrate so much that you love each other. I mean, a regular couple doesn't have to show any of these things, you know. For me, it was a real, invasion on my private life. I had to show pictures, write stories, and it created some tensions between us as well, you know, because you had to ask some of his family members to write some testimonies to say, yes, this relationship is genuine. I mean, it was difficult. It made it a little bit difficult for us, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, so you don't agree with department asking all these evidences?
For me, it's a long process. You need to understand what it means to open the door, you know, to a case officer who's going to metaphorically enter your house and look at every little detail of your relationship, and you need to be ready for that. And you need to be strong, but be prepared that it is difficult.
Right.
And also, obviously, I think also the vision of the Department of Home Affairs of what a relationship is nowadays is a little bit old-fashioned in certain ways that maybe they may want to... this, yes.
I have a completely different forefront for that. You know why? For me, I feel that, all right, you have to show genuine relationship because many people are taking advantage of it.
Of course.
In your case, it was genuine. That's when you felt like, oh my God, you are actually, you know, wanting to know my whole private life. So yes, from that side, I do understand. Being a migration consultant, you do understand now that it is important.
Course.
Yeah.
I mean, now I do partner visas for a lot of clients and I go through their photos and I go through their bills and I look at every little detail. Messages, of course. I read through the private conversations and I remember what it feels like. So I try to do it with as much care and respect as possible. I try not to ask too many questions if I don't need to try to respect this as much as possible.
Wow, you're too nice because I want to know the grandfather and grandmother name. I want to know every detail. Where did you meet?
You live for the drama. That's why.
I'm like, tell me. No, that's good. So as a migration consultant, what is the biggest hurdle do you face every day?
I guess every day is you have to, you have clients in front of you who are full of dreams and hopes and high expectations. And some of them, they think they'll move to Australia and everything will be easy. And they apply for a visa and the visa will arrive, 100% sure. That's not always the case. So you have to manage their expectations. You have to make them understand that this is a process. It's a serious process. And here I'm talking more about maybe European clients that I work with. Because, you know, in Europe, when you have a French passport, an Italian passport, you can go to all these other countries in Europe without any problems. I mean, there's no border. You just cross the border with your car and that's it. Yeah. So the concept of I need to request a permit to enter a country is a little bit foreign for Europeans. And they need to understand, no, this is serious stuff, you know? And we are here to help you, to guide you and make sure you meet all the requirements.
Wow, that is so true. That's the reason I get asked, like, why do I have to show that? I'm like, all my life we all had to.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. So Aurélie, changing your life here in Australia, what made you stay in Australia apart from the love?
Well, the love, you know, went away after a while. We did break up and got a divorce. But that was the moment when I had to ask myself, what do I do? Do I stay here in Australia or do I go back home to France? But at that time, I had a good job. I had a great job. I was working as a teacher, making good money. I bought my own apartment. I had my life. settled. So I thought, you know what? Melbourne is such a beautiful city. There's so much to do as well. I'm going to enjoy it a little bit more and see what life has in store for me next. So I wanted to explore being here, not married anymore, but that's okay. And starting a new chapter of my life in Melbourne. And this is what I did.
I love that. I love that. And now you live back in Italy.
Now, yes. So another chapter, I moved to Italy about 4 years ago because my current partner is Italian, and we had a child together. She's almost 6. And we decided to move back to Europe in 2021. Obviously, there was COVID, all of that made it a little bit difficult. And we also wanted to be a bit closer to our families in Europe and to give a strong connection to Europe to our daughter, because of course she has an Australian passport as well. She can stay here. If she wants in the future to live here, she'll be more than welcome to be here. But we wanted to create a strong connection to her culture back in Italy and back in France.
Yeah, so this culture part.
Yes.
So do you think you lack it over here in Australia?
At first, definitely, because you arrive in this country where everyone is very friendly, very open, but I would say maybe a little bit superficial, at least according to our European standards. I don't want to offend anyone, but but then you recreate your own community. This is something very important when you are an expat, when you migrate. You have to recreate your community. And a lot of my friends here were French people or from other nationalities, but we were all more or less in the same situation, with the same struggles, the same issues. So we had a lot to talk about and share with each other. And once you recreate that, you have that culture, you recreate your culture.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. So Aurélie, if you want to advise somebody, the 3 struggles that you went through and how they can overcome, what would that be?
So as I just told you, I think finding your community, the right people to be close to when you need help, but that can be friends, but that can be also migration agents, that can be whoever you need, but the right people, and you will find them here in Australia. There are a lot of people willing to help and be there for you. So find your community to help you. Be prepared to work hard for your goals. If your goal is to stay here and become a citizen, you have to prepare that for yourself, that it might not be always easy. There will be moments of wanting to give up and going home, but you have to push. And also, you have to be aware that whatever you left behind in your country will always be part of you. So if you had some struggles, some issues back home, you will have to deal with them at some point.
Yes.
They travel with you as well. So be prepared for that.
I love that. I love that. So the 3 things that we learned today is find your own community, find your goal and stick to it, and don't forget where you come from. So thank you so much, Aurélie, for your time today.
Thank you, Reena. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.